Bienvenue en Aotearoa. Bienvenue en Nouvelle-Zélande. Ici prospère une population généreuse, pacifiste et multiculturelle, basée sur le respect de l'autre. Ici vit un peuple extraordinaire, aux valeurs profondes, une culture fascinante, parfaitement en phase avec le monde actuel, et qui a su préserver un profond respect de la vie. Pour en savoir plus, je me suis d'abord dirigé vers les villes, pour rencontrer des Kiwis, mais aussi des Maoris. En effet, la plupart des Maoris ont migré vers les villes à partir des années 50, mais ont progressivement oublié leur culture. Mais comment sont les Maoris d'aujourd'hui? Où vivent-ils? Et comment? Se sont-ils occidentalisés au point d'en perdre leur tradition? Comment une culture autochtone traditionnelle peut-elle continuer d'être aujourd'hui?
Maori people are the indigenous people of New Zealand. They're the first people who came here, and you can find them all over New Zealand. Yeah, they're everywhere, basically.
Aujourd'hui, les Maoris représentent 15% de la population néo-zélandaise. La plupart vivent dans les villes de manière occidentale, coupés de leurs racines tribales. On m'a dit qu'il n'y avait plus de pur sang maori. Mais alors, qui est maori aujourd'hui et qui ne l'est pas?
Okay, bonjour, kia ora, good morning, hello. My name is Tommy Kapai Wilson. I am a New Zealand French Maori. My mother is a fourth generation Maori, and we are also French Maori, so we come from Normandy, from a little place called Tuque, which is by Honfleur. And my great-great-great-grandfather come to New Zealand and marry a Maori woman.
My husband here, he is part Scottish. I'm part something, but I'm not too sure. It's very hard to be able to say that you are full-blooded Māori. If you are full-blooded Māori, you probably be about 150 years old. So we have all this mixed blood now.
And about 6 metres wide and about 4 sticking out of the ground.
I say that I am Maori, but there's never been a percentage put on it. I've heard it said that you've got to be at least a quarter, but most people today aren't even that. But my sister, she was quite dark. She threw the other way, yeah. But that's the way it goes anyhow, yeah.
I'm a Māori. I might not look like it, but I am. I'm Māori and Irish. I was part of the first settlers, English settlers that come to this country. So yes, I'm Irish and Māori.
I guess my great-grandma's Maori, yeah, but you can't really tell, like, you know, I'm more Irish blood and ancestry than Maori, so yeah, I wouldn't consider myself Maori, but everybody's got a bit of Maori in them.
To be a Maori is to know your whakapapa, your history, your lineage. If you ask a person, are you a Maori? And they say yes, you will say to them, what is your whakapapa? So every Maori knows their waka, the boat they came here on from the other islands. Our one is the Takitimu. Every Maori should know their mountain. This is my mountain. Every Maori should know their sea, their harbour or their river. Tauranga Moana is my harbour. So when someone asks me, am I a Maori? I say yes. They say, what is your whakapapa? Ko Mawao te Maonga, ko Tauranga te harbour, ko Paparo te Marae, ko Tami Kapai tēnei. That is my whakapapa. That is what it is to be a Maori.
Les Maoris sont des Polynésiens. Ils ont colonisé progressivement la Nouvelle-Zélande il y a un peu plus de 1000 ans. Aotearoa, le pays du long nuage blanc en maori, est l'une des dernières terres de Polynésie à avoir été peuplée. Les Polynésiens ont tous un ancêtre commun, appelé Maui, qui est le descendant direct du père ciel Rangi et de la terre-mère Papa. Au commencement, il n'y avait ni ciel, ni mer, ni terre. Il n'y avait que l'obscurité, le néant. C'est de ce néant que Papa Tuanuku, la terre-mère, et Rangi Nui, le ciel-père, sont apparus. De leur amour naquirent 70 dieux masculins. Enfermés dans l'obscurité éternelle, ils décidèrent d'agir contre l'union étouffante de leurs parents. Tane, le dieu de la forêt, prit l'initiative de les séparer, et cela provoqua la libération de la lumière et la création de la vie. Les récits cosmologiques et généalogiques maoris sont regroupés sous le nom de Whakapapa. Whakapapa a commencé pour tout Maori avec la séparation de Rangi et de Papa. Ainsi, dans la culture maori, tout est lié, car tout a la même origine. Les personnes, l'environnement naturel, les objets animés ou inanimés, tout est lié. Les Maoris sont ainsi capables de décliner la liste de leurs ancêtres jusqu'au premier d'entre eux. La généalogie a une place très importante dans la culture maori. Le traité de Waitangi, signé en 1840, a permis à la Grande-Bretagne de coloniser et de s'approprier les terres néo-zélandaises. En effet, suite à ce traité, beaucoup de Maoris se sont fait prendre injustement leurs terres. Dépourvus de leurs terres et de leurs ressources, les Maoris n'ont pas eu d'autre choix que de migrer vers les villes pour trouver une vie meilleure. Après des siècles de dépossession et de conflits coloniaux, un tribunal a été créé en 1975, le tribunal de Waitangi, pour que les Maoris regagnent leurs droits et leurs terres. Aujourd'hui, les Maoris sont fiers de leur culture. Ils ont réussi à prendre des places importantes dans la société néo-zélandaise, mais restent extrêmement vigilants quant à la sauvegarde de leur culture.
150 years ago, the white man, the Pākehā, came here, and the Māori will say, "Hey, welcome, share what I have." Then the Pākehā take what they have and take and take and take, till all the Māori have left is just a little bit of their language and their marae, and everything else was going. And then they say, no, no more. So now they are getting back their land and their culture. And the Pākehā are thinking, oh, this is a good culture, maybe we need to change our way.
In Māoris, we have a matriarch that it's the guy, the knowledge keeper of the family. And if you lose your knowledge, you lose the family or you lose the tradition. But we're fortunate to have our tradition, our history and everything drilled into our head because it's really, really important.
That maybe when Western society came, that's when everything started to have boundaries and had to be cut up, and I own this piece of land and you own that piece of land, and I will build a house on this land for me. And you know, if you think about how we come from the land and go back to the land, it kind of highlights the reason why land to Māori is so important.
A lot of people, they think that humans are at the top of the chain. I think the most important and the most powerful concept is that from the Western point of view, they look at things like land ownership, and from the Maori point of view, people don't own the land owns the people, and I think that's a really important lesson.
Dans la culture maori, Papa Tuanuku est la terre-mère. Elle est sacrée, car elle représente la terre sur laquelle on vit, et elle ne peut être possédée. Whenua signifie terre en maori, mais signifie aussi placenta. Le placenta d'un nouveau-né est traditionnellement enterré au pied d'un jeune arbre, judicieusement choisi. Chaque Maori commence symboliquement sa vie dans le Whenua et y retourne à sa mort. Chaque Maori est ainsi relié à la terre.
We all say in Māori that you must know where your Turanga Waiwai is. Turanga Waiwai, where is your place to stand? Where do you come from? Here is where I stand. So when the Māori people now, because they moved to the city, and now they are all coming back to the country and to where they can stand. And I think that's what is happening. This is important.
Kaitiakitanga caractérise la garde, la protection de l'environnement et le contrôle des ressources pour les générations futures. Pour les Maoris, ni la terre ni la mer ne peut être possédée. Les éléments naturels sont temporairement mis à la disposition des hommes, qui en sont les kaitiaki, les gardiens. Ils peuvent les exploiter, mais en échange, doivent les préserver. Ce principe de conservation se base sur un élément fondamental de la conception du monde maori, l'existence d'une force vitale, la mori. Pour les Maoris, cette énergie est contenue en toute chose, tout être. Parce que toutes les créations contiennent cette énergie, les Maoris considèrent qu'elles doivent toutes être traitées dans le même respect.
I think the biggest thing with society is you live next door to someone and you don't even know them, you know? Don't say hi or anything, and you just live next door to them. And when you live in like a village type situation, like everyone knows everyone, you know? Where this fella's from, everyone knows everybody. It's because they live in that kind of environment.
Le marae est le lieu de réunion, la base de la vie communautaire maori. Il s'y déroulent toutes les cérémonies, les débats, les mariages, baptêmes ou funérailles. L'enseignement des whakapapa et des waiata pour les jeunes maoris a lieu au sein du marae. Les cérémonies obéissent à des règles et des protocoles tapu, sacrés, tels que le powiri, qui est la cérémonie d'accueil des visiteurs. Le mana kitanga prend toute son ampleur pendant le powiri. D'abord, la cérémonie débute par des discours, korero, et des prières pour remercier les ancêtres. Pour les Maoris, les ancêtres font partie intégrante de la vie et sont vus de manière positive. Les cérémonies permettent de les respecter et de ne pas les oublier. S'ensuit le wero, qui a pour but de tester le visiteur par des démonstrations agressives pour voir si le visiteur vient en ennemi ou en ami. Si le visiteur vient en ami, Le karanga, chant de bienvenue, a lieu. Il est exclusivement fait par les femmes, car elles représentent l'origine, le début de la vie. La cérémonie continue au sein du whare, la grande maison communautaire. Le whakapapa y est récité, puis des chants, les waiata, et des danses, les kapa'aka, ont lieu.
When one tribe would come up against another tribe, they would send their first warrior forward each, and they would do the haka to each other and trade their stories through their dance. The one that you see in the rugby, that is just one particular haka. There are many, each place has a haka. We have our own haka. For this area, each tribe has their own haka. The one you see with the All Blacks, that is called kamate, kamate, kaiora, kaiora. That is just one haka.
Haka est en fait le nom général pour toutes les danses maoris. Il y avait des haka de chant et de joie, comme pour souhaiter la bienvenue, ou des haka de guerre, dans lesquels on invoquait le dieu de la guerre. On le dansait avec des expressions féroces, des grimaces, langues tirées, yeux exorbités pour effrayer l'adversaire. Il devait être fait en synchronisation totale, sinon l'imparfaite coordination du groupe pouvait être signe d'un mauvais présage quant à l'issue de la bataille.
Māori have an oral history, which means that a lot of our history was passed down through legends, through song, and through storytelling. We did have carving and artwork where we could ingrain these stories and history in images. So a lot of our history is entrenched in our stories and our song.
La cérémonie est clôturée par le hangi, rituel de bienvenue durant lequel on presse son nez contre celui d'une autre personne pour mélanger les souffles. Ce mélange des souffles représente l'unité, symbole de la vision du monde des Maoris, dans laquelle toute chose est liée. Mais une des choses qui m'a le plus frappé est le respect porté aux ancêtres. Le whare, la maison principale, représente le corps de l'ancêtre chef. Y entrer est donc comme entrer dans son corps. Le koruru à l'entrée représente la tête de l'ancêtre. Le maihi, les colonnes sur le côté, représentent ses bras, ouverts, comme pour souhaiter la bienvenue aux visiteurs. Et les colonnes à l'intérieur représente son squelette, sa colonne vertébrale et ses côtes. À l'intérieur, sur chacune des colonnes, les ancêtres du Marae sont représentés. Ces maisons communautaires ont été sculptées et érigées au XIXe siècle, mais leur valeur reste toujours aussi forte et significative pour les Maoris. Le Whare est un lieu tapu, sacré, rempli de force de vie, venant de tous les ancêtres qui y sont rattachés. Y entrer est comme faire corps avec les Maoris, faire corps avec leurs ancêtres. La tradition de la sculpture sur bois est évidente sur tout le territoire. Sur les waka, sur les marae ou sur les instruments de musique, toutes les sculptures ont une signification, racontent une histoire et représentent en particulier les ancêtres qui sont vénérés par leurs descendants.
They're no longer with us, and really when we do carvings they're only of those who have passed on. We will never carve someone that's still alive. And so this ancestor here, Kino Nui, when he wanted his villagers to collect different types of food, he'd hold up a different cloak to signify whether he wanted them to collect food from the forest, and hold up another cloak to represent the gathering of seafood. You know, we all take reference from the old fellas, from the old carvers. We try and evolve forms and figures and surface patterns the best that we can with the tools that we've got, I suppose. Yeah.
Maori make everything look like a person. In Maori tradition, when we greet each other, we bring our noses together and share breath. You bring its nose to your nose and do a hongi with it. And as you do that, you breathe, you share your breath. And in this wonderful way of Maori, the word for seeing is the same as for hearing. So what I said then, you can see it with both. Is exactly the way that Maori perceive it. So you can do your filming.
Here we have two waka. These two waka here were carved in 1989 for the 1990 celebrations. 10 different carvers who worked on the project. My father-in-law Rangi Hita, he's the master carver. And he put the whole project together.
Au même titre que le marae, le waka est tapu, sacré dans la culture maori. En récitant leur whakapapa, les Maoris précisent le nom du waka qui a amené leurs ancêtres jusqu'en Aotearoa. L'importance du waka dans la culture maori est aujourd'hui mise en valeur par la pratique du waka-ama, un sport moderne qui s'appuie sur des traditions et connaissances ancestrales.
So all the designs, all the waka, the paddles, it's all carved traditionally in traditional designs. Not so much the tools that we use to carve it, but the style that they carved them.
nature comme source d'inspiration première pour l'art et pour les légendes. Le koru est directement inspiré par la ferne, la fougère de Nouvelle-Zélande, qui est aussi l'emblème du pays. Le koru est symbole d'évolution, de renouveau. On le retrouve dans la plupart des créations maoris, y compris sur le drapeau du Tino Rangatiratanga, le drapeau maori, dont les motifs racontent la création du monde. Le jaillissement de la vie et de la lumière suite à la séparation des dieux Rangi et Papa est représenté à travers les entrelacs de spirales, de courbes et de lignes ondoyantes des créations maoris. Me voici à présent sur l'île du Sud, que les Maoris appellent Te Waipunamu, ce qui signifie les eaux de la pierre verte. Dans les rivières de ses côtes ouest, on peut y trouver le jade, Punamu en maori, une pierre précieuse plus dure que l'acier.
Right there. He's bent alright. They don't come like
It's
that.
been
I've never seen
moved.
them like
It's
that.
moving. It's moved on the plate, and that's what's polished
So
it.
it's just going like that, isn't it?
And on the tectonic plate.
Okay.
Yeah. 25 miles deep.
Okay. Liquidating.
No, it's not liquid. It comes up as solid from 25 miles. Yeah.
Le Punamu est apprécié pour ses propriétés esthétiques et pratiques, mais possède une valeur spirituelle bien plus importante aux yeux des Maoris. Le Punamu est tapu, sacré, car il est rempli de mana. Le mana fait référence à une force d'origine spirituelle qui réside dans les êtres vivants, les animaux et même les objets animés ou inanimés, lorsqu'ils inspirent le prestige et le respect. Hei Tiki, pendentif de jade très commun dans la culture maori, représente le tout premier humain créé par le dieu Tané. Il a la forme d'un embryon et se transmet toujours entre les générations.
Tiki are a symbol of fertility. Fertility and procreation is very important for Māori because if we have no children or grandchildren, then you don't have a line of descent. And so ancestry, who you come from, where you come from, is very important.
This here is it's like a centerpiece on a marae, and it looks down onto the visitors to a marae. This represents my cousin. This is my sister. A river, a spring, and my grandmother. We have my two little brothers, and then this one is for my older brother and my dad, and they represent strength. And then the whole thing is my mother.
So are you a Maori?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not like 50-50 kind of Māori. I'm just like, if I could put both, I would put Māori and Pākehā. But if I can just put one, then I usually just put European because I'm mostly European. So,
Yeah.
Recently on Facebook, a guy added me, and I recognised the last name, and I recounted a story that my dad had always told me about that side of the family and how the last full-blooded Māori in my family. So I told him that story, and he was like, "You're talking about my great-great-grandmother."
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Un autre symbole de la culture maori m'a fasciné. Le tatouage maori, le moko. Le tamoko, ou l'art de sculpter et de pigmenter la peau, consiste à inciser et à colorer la peau d'une personne pour y refléter son whakapapa, sa généalogie. Le moko du visage superpose aux traits du visage un masque de vie. Chaque courbe, chaque motif renseigne sur l'identité du porteur, sur son whakapapa, ses ancêtres, sa tribu, son rang social ou encore sur ses accomplissements. C'est un véritable passeport, une carte d'identité.
What about, so what, mum, dad?
Brother, sister, grand, aunt and uncle.
Their whole lives, they've probably taught you stuff that have made you the person you are today, you know? You never know, Gran might pass away, you might have kids later on in life and you might remember something that she taught you that you might want to teach your kids or stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
I've never met Bruce in my life before. The story that he just shared to me about his family is sacred to him and to me now, because when I turn it into a moko for him, all the stories that I've been told by all the old people, some of them have passed on to help portray his story, and for me that's sacred. Yeah.
Do you think Maori culture no renaissance?
It's been revived. Yeah. It's well and truly alive again. And so we're probably at a point in our traditions now where we really need to consolidate them. Yeah. So doing more, I suppose, to educate our children, establish more things. Because for a long time it was never practiced, you know, it was outlawed. The people that practiced tā moko early 1900s were either put in jails, put in mental institutes, or they were killed, basically. So it was one of our first pillars of our culture that the English tried to wipe out, because they knew that within this marking it had so much power for our people that they knew that if they took this part away, and as well as our language, that we would become more submissive, would become a more docile people, would be easier to assimilate, and would be easier basically to train and to make us the way that they wanted us to be, basically. So they wanted to change our whole society. And so tā moko, the marking, was one of the first things that they eradicated. Yeah, because they just knew there was something in their tattoo. Or for someone to mark their face like this, one, you've either got to be crazy, you know, and that's what they were thinking, or secondly, there's got to be something behind that marking that empowers those people to do what they do. Yeah, and so they realized that it was more of a tool of empowerment for our people, and so they got rid of it.
My mother and them believe that you only put a moko on your face if you can speak the language fluently. In the old days, you only put a moko on when you are very old. Now, everyone is putting the moko on younger and younger. Some of the old people don't like this.
There's a special protocol you've got to go through to have a moko, and you've got to ask your elders if you can have a moko. You've got to have achieve something great, you know, become something. Or just ask your grandmother, and your grandmother or grandfather, if they say yes, then you may.
You know, when we went through the period of rebirth and renaissance and reviving this ancient art form, we started taking stuff from the tattoo world. One, we took the equipment, the technology, and unfortunately some of the other things crept into the world of moko as well, like things that look good, you know. People always want them to look good first instead of meaning something first. The only difference between traditional and modern is the application and the tools that we use today. My whole face, when it is complete, is a mark to honour my ancestors. It is a tribute to all their hard work, to their great sacrifices that they had to go through in their time to enable me to stand proud of my culture and my people, no matter where I go in the world. But most of all, it's a reminder to me about who I am. So I wake up every morning, and when I look in the mirror, I don't have to second guess who I am or where I'm going or what I have to do.
Imagery, drawings, paintings, carvings are there to support the speaker, not the speaker to support the carvings or the art. So it's called a visual language. So in Māori it's called reo ata ata. Reo awaha is when you talk, and reo ata ata is when the imagery talks. Two languages.
This is the line that runs through here is the day, you know, the daylight. The world and the sky and earth pull apart. You get this past, present, future. Nature. Take care of the birds and the trees. The plant. Medicines. Plants are important. Everything grows now because the world and the sky is apart. Rangi here lives up in the sky. Here's the sky, and Papa Tuanuku is the earth. Earth, sky, pull apart.
It's a part of communicating, like carving is. Tamoko is also a form of communication. We didn't have a written language, so the way we depict our whakapapa, our genealogy, was using certain marks on a certain part of the face, and your different rank was also depicted on your face. So it was a form of communicating, which carving and weaving is as well.
Yeah, the meaning, yeah. It's actually nice, but here we go. It's cool here.
See the mahoi up here.
This one here, we call it the mingi mingi. The mingi mingi, this one. And when you got thyroids of the throat or your lungs, you make a drink out of this one, and it stops the colds, the coughs, the mingi mingi. We are them and they are us. And so we protect them, we look after them. And so we just come back to the forest just to pay homage, to honour him, to honour our ancestors. Sometimes like this, people come through, break things, and they have no respect. Before we can heal anyone, we have to heal the forest. When I was younger, I would go into the bush like this, and I would stay there for 2 weeks and just survive the bush. No matches, no blankets, no nothing. And just come and live in the bush. Today our young people, they wouldn't last a day. And they want to go back to Cape Pride, they want to go back town. But we lived in the bush. I think people in town, they stress out about things that happen in town. But when you come to the ngahere, you become one with the ngahere. And so you become balanced. You find your balance. You find your spirituality here. You find your balance here.
Maoris 20 years ago were protesting to get their rights back. But now, Maoris nowadays don't do nothing but sit home, drink alcohol and smoke weed. You got two different Maoris now. The first lot of Maoris are the Maoris you see everywhere, and they're the bad Maoris, the lost, the wandering people who are lost. And the second part are the educated Maoris like me and my mum, who know we're Maori, but we decide not to, you know, come to that stereotype of being Maori being big, criminal, evil, and all that stuff.
Māori for years have been in the negative statistics in New Zealand, and in the media we're always portrayed as being poor, useless alcoholics, you know, going nowhere, and so a lot of our people have come to think that that's how we are. But art has been a way for Māori to celebrate our gifts and to show our culture, the beautiful side of our culture with the world, and with that it's bringing our people up to stand proud. And it was then that our people realised that how important and unique our culture was. And so Māori art is experienced a huge renaissance.
The Renaissance is happening now, right now. 20 years ago, as I say, it was culturally uncool. Now it's culturally very cool to be a Māori. We have a Māori television station now. When you watch the news, even the non-Māori people are starting to introduce the news in Māori. So the culture is going through a really big renaissance right now.
The revival in the language over the last 25 to 30 years has just been more than I ever dreamed could happen here. When I grew up, I didn't hear it.
If you speak Māori fluently, I think you are Māori, because many people in New Zealand are Māori. They don't speak Māori, they are born Māori, they have brown skins, but they think Pākehā.
Do you speak Maori language?
Enough to get by. Yeah, enough to get by. But I had it hammered out in my age group. When we were at school, we got hammered every time we spoke it.
Some Māori say they want to live tino rangatiratanga, which is the way that we used to live, up on there. But if you send them to live up on there and they don't have Sky TV and a car, I don't think they last for very long. So it's a romantic view. I think there are parts of the culture we can take with us, but in reality we won't be going back to live on a pā with a spear eating out of the sea anymore.
My kids came through the kohanga reo, which is the, you know what the kohanga reo is? It's like a kindergarten, preschool, that it only Māori is spoken in. So all of my kids went through that. Yeah.
It's compulsory to learn Māori in school, the language. We learn about the history and how they came here.
Do you speak Maori?
Yeah, fluently.
She does, I don't.
I went to kindergarten, which is kohanga reo, and I go to a fluent Māori school at the moment.
And because of her parents, because they're Māori, and so they taught it to
encouraged us.
Yeah.
Not a lot of Māori
not
speak.
Anymore.
Yeah, not a lot of Māori speak Māori.
Yeah.
But a lot of kids do, not a lot of adults. More and more kids do.
Yeah.
So hopefully a lot of people will soon.
Après avoir failli disparaître, la langue maori a été revalorisée, puis officialisée en 1987. Des écoles ont été créées dans lesquelles on ne parle que le maori. Dans ces écoles, la tradition maori y est enseignée.
When I was growing up, nobody wanted to be known as a Maori. We always tried to change our name to an English name. Now, everybody is changing their name to be a Maori name. And what is good about that? For me, my daughter, she is now learning to speak Maori in the school, but my mother, who went to the same school, if she tried to speak the language, she was beaten. Now, my daughter is learning the language in the same school, and I am the chairman of that school. So we have come right around. So there is great hope. If we can do that in this little culture, perhaps there is hope for the world.
I think we have to go back to a lot of the old ways. Yeah, I do believe that we have to do that. Just for the sake of the whole planet. I'm not talking about just New Zealand or anywhere else. So all we have to do really is make sure that people do things in a responsible manner.
You can have that one. Thanks. That's a gift.
It's a gift?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just personally, I think we need to get over everyone's prejudice against everyone else and sort of probably understand more about other people's culture.
Chaki tangata, chaki whānau, kai chaki tanga. Look after people, look after family, be a guardian.
Me aroha koe ki te ao me te papatuna ki me ngā rākau I mua mātou. That means you have to love what's around you and the trees and the ground, yeah, and become one with nature.
We're kind of like a good role model kind of country, so we show people that even if you're different, you can still be in the same place, and yeah.
A e papa wairangi, tāku nei Māori, ki au we, e hine hoki mai rā. Nau reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, pai Māori e. Pai Māori e means peace out, brother.